Welcome back to Gin In Teacups.
This is our chatty interview with Thomas Tantrum.
It seems like they have a signature sound that makes them easily recognizable.
We asked them what do they think that is.
And still.
Oh, what? Are we answering the question now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep up, Dave.
Oh, right.
I nominate David to answer this question.
I nominate Dave to answer the question too.
What makes our sound so distinct?
Yes.
Megan?
I would say Megan's vocals are very distinctive, so that's the first thing that people pick up on. But then when you listen to the song, there's also a lot of depth to it. Well, one would think, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Dave's quite a unique guitar player as well. And
We're
me and Jim are great.
We're all into like quite different music, so we all stick to the kind of style we like, and I guess when they're combined, it doesn't really sound like anything else. Because some bands just go for a particular sound. We are quite distinctive though.
You go in circles. But yeah, it's because your voice is like quite easy to pick out, isn't it? And I'd say Dave's guitar is to an extent. And even your guitar style as well, it's just quite simple but the right notes, you know, and that's quite unique. Not many people do that. Most people might try and do too much.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the rhythm section because it's changed from the last record, so maybe that would make it more difficult for people to do it. But I think with Megan singing, everyone will know that's us.
When it comes to shaping emotions and experiences into songs, where do they stand in the old conundrum?
Style or substance?
Probably a bit of both, I'd say. Because like, obviously, everything affects you in what you do. If it's happy or sad, always affects you. And because there's four of us, obviously not all in the same emotional frame of mind, so maybe that contradicts it. So there's kind of niceness in the sort of darkness as well, or the other way around.
Because you can write something and when you get to the studio it ends up sounding a lot more, well, a lot poppier, you know. So
I think it's a nice balance between style and substance.
Their sound has been subject to a polishing process since their first album.
We asked them what do they think was gained and what was lost during that process.
I think, are you referring to the fact that this second album's quite a lot different to the first? I think it was just a natural process. We didn't really do any of it like intentionally. We just kind of start writing more grown-up songs. I think it's less brat pop. It's kind of and less stoppy, starty, jumpy all over the place. Before we used to maybe our writing process was to kind of just lump things together, and now instead we just write a proper quality tune. If that makes sense.
that's pretty damning.
Why?
I don't know.
No, not that
The old stuff.
Not that the old stuff's bad. It's just I feel we've moved on. Evidently.
We used the same producer as the first album, and I think he kind of moved on with us as well. So as we developed, he developed. And kind of went hand in hand, really.
It's really good. I don't know if I'd say it was more polished. Would you say it was more polished?
I'd say it's more sort of, it's more made like an album rather than sort of just cut. Not, I don't want to say chucked together, but
it's not as random.
There seems to be more of a coherent flow to it.
I think Sleep in particular sounds quite polished because it's got that big synth sound on it.
Yeah, that's true. I think when you hear the rest of the album, maybe it's not quite so.
Some key evolutionary steps for Thomas Tantrum came due to accidents.
So are they inclined to think that everything can have a silver lining?
Does every cloud have a silver lining?
Does every cloud have a silver lining?
Yes.
It doesn't take much physically to craft a tune, I guess. So, if I break my arm, I can always like play the keys with my other hand or whatever. It's when it boils down to it, the songs are quite simple musically, not to their detriment. So we used whatever we've got to make them. Yeah. So in answer to yes,
Silver lining. That's right.
silver lining. Yes, every cloud does indeed have a silver lining.
And to you.
Oh, me as well.
Yes, all of you.
I agree with David.
Does every cloud have a silver lining? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we all agree then.
How do they feel they fit in the Southampton music scene?
And is there anywhere else they'd rather be?
I
I'd
don't
like
think.
to live in New York.
Yeah, I suppose if you live somewhere. Do you mean in the UK or anywhere?
Anyway.
Because then, yeah, I don't think we would be in Southampton.
We're here because we don't have much money.
Yeah. Can't afford to move. There's lots of nice people though, and you ask about the scene, and there are loads of bands that are good and that are doing sort of quite well, up and coming. But it's not so much people play together because it's all different genres. So, I mean, we do play gigs with one another, but not that often.
There isn't a particular Southampton theme.
Yeah,
Like Southampton sound, I mean.
but everyone gets on really well. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So leaving Southampton would be sad for that reason, and obviously all our friends are here.
Yeah.
But it's not that exciting, is it?
Most of the songs from the new album are described as filled with themes of female insanity.
But what kind of feedback did they actually receive from early listeners?
It's attached to your head.
What, people that have heard the album? Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, one of the songs is called Betty Blue, and that's literally like based on the erotic film Betty Blue. And so that's quite obviously about female insanity. And yeah, there are a couple of songs I wrote which didn't go on the album because they were crap about female insanity. So.
Well, sleep as well, like it's got mental health issues.
Oh yeah, Sleep, yeah. Yeah, I think people agree. Yeah, I think people can see it and see the I can't speak today. They can see the themes in there, yeah. Can't speak.
As they share writing duties and seem to be a very cohesive group,
We played devil's advocate and asked them what happens if there are troubles in paradise.
Dave, we're doing an interview.
Oh yeah.
Sit down.
He can't open doors for himself or get around, so.
We get into a big argument and just argue it out, and then we try and use the voting system, but
We usually take the long route to sort the problems out.
Yeah, good few hours of passive aggressive, and then it gets to the loud bit, and then. Don't know.
we're four strong characters, and we know what we want each individually, but it can be quite tricky.
Yeah, I guess, you know, if you write something, and depending on how much of it you've written, so a few times people have come with whole, you know, we've made entire demos and then brought them along and said, well, I quite like the parts that I've written here, so could you please do that? And then obviously your inclination as a musician in a band, rather than a session musician, is to like mess around with the notes or something, or put your own
Make it
stamp
your
on
own.
it, you know. Which can be difficult if you've deliberately written something for a reason, you know, and you really like it, then that can be quite hard. But
It's just a challenge that eventually the collision of ideas just ends up being quite creative.
get
Something
over it.
interesting comes out. Yeah, you end up letting go and realise that it's not really that important. Let's write 3 better songs. Just get on with it.
You get attached to things for no real valuable reason, don't you? Unless it's like amazing.
We
never
have lots of
usually is.
sweeping exits in band practice.
Like
I
what?
can't deal with this anymore, I'm going!
Not for,
Sweeping out of the
not
room.
for a while.
I don't think Jim's ever done that.
Not for a while.
I left once because you and Dave were arguing. Usually it's you and Dave.
Dave's the one that leaves.
Wouldn't necessarily that's true.
Yeah. So
How do we cope with it? We
you
don't
could
really
see-
obviously-
Yeah, we don't
we
cope.
don't cope with
We
it.
can't cope.
Sweep it under the carpet and wait for it to rear its ugly head again like 2 months later.
We hope you've enjoyed this time with Thomas Tantrum.
And now, as usual, stay tuned because there's so much in store. And until then, bye!